Hi, everyone. Welcome again. Thank you so much for tuning in into our New Year's Day live broadcast. And of course, I'm Shayla, the founder of Resplendence Language Arts. And today we have one of our most sharpest, astute students joining us in the live today. His name is Kwame. He is an incoming Ghana repatriate. So he's going to talk to us about his story, why Ghana, and everything else that we want to know about him. Of course, how is Resplendence Language Arts helping him achieve his language goals? So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Brother Kwame on the broadcast. Hi, Brother Kwame. How are you? We're going to take you off of unmute mic. I'm going to unmute your mic, sir. Unmute. Uh-oh. Hold on, Kwame. Kwame, could you unmute your mic? I muted it originally. And by the way, everyone, I'm having a little glass of wine. All right, Kwame, you're in the... Uh-oh. I think we lost Kwame. We'll have him back in a minute. But he will be joining us to talk about his repatriation story. And to also talk about how he's preparing, because not oftentimes, but a lot of us are moving over to Africa, right? Why are we doing that? We're doing that because we want to come home. Simple as that. And, it's a lot of research that goes into the process of repatriation. And in that research, we're discovering where we belong and, what areas or what region we want to move to. So it's a process. It's not just, some people can wake up and say, okay, I want to go to this country, and they do it, right? But some people, they take their time to really, really research where they want to go. So this brother Kwame has been doing just that, and we're going to bring him up right now. I'm going to add him to the stream. Hi, brother Kwame.
Hello, how are you?
Good, and you, sir?
Fine, thank you. Fine.
Good.
Fine.
So I was just telling our viewers how repatriation can be a process, right? And I want you to tell us about your story, kind of your background, and then move into why did you choose Ghana? So I'll be quiet now, and it's all you.
Okay. My story is I live in England. My story goes back quite a long way. I first traveled to Africa around 32, 33 years ago, and the first place that me and a good friend of mine went to was Ghana. We fell in love with Ghana. At that time, the was in power. General Holdings. And then I kept going back and forth. And I built a house in the early 90s, but it didn't work out. And I didn't
we're having a little bit of mic issue. There it goes. It's better. Your mic was messing up, but it's better.
Okay. I don't know how far you heard of me. How far I got. I'm saying that.
Honestly, if you can start over, that would be great, because I didn't hear a lot of it. Could you start over for me?
Okay, no problem. There's no problem. My first trip to Africa was quite a long time ago. I went with my best friend at the time. It was still one of my best friends. And that was in 1988, 1989. And at that time, Jerry Rawlings was in power. Yeah. And when we went to Ghana, we fell in love with Ghana. I've been to other parts of Africa that I like, Nigeria, that's just as beautiful. But I decided from the first day I went to Ghana, this is it for me. Um,
Mm.
I planned I planned to go
Why did
and
you
live.
like? Why did you like Ghana so much? What made you say this was it for me? What made you reach that pivotal understanding? What did it feel
I,
like? What did it make you feel like?
as soon as we landed in Ghana, as soon as we landed, it could, to be quite honest, for me, it could have been Senegal. If I had landed in Senegal, I would must have settled in Senegal. If that had been the first part of Africa I'd been to, that's because I've been to like I said, I've been to Nigeria, but by the time I'd gone to Nigeria, I'd already started establishing things in Ghana. Um, it was just for me. There's just something magical about Africa. So, they just and Ghana was the first place I went, and that was it for me.
Excellent,
Um,
excellent. And so that was
yeah,
in 1984, right? Or in 87?
1988. 19,
Wow.
yeah.
Now, how did you prepare yourself from 1988 to now in order to get to the continent or get to Ghana in particular?
Um. Well, I around the late 90s, I I bought some land, myself and some others, and the plan was to go back and settle. And I built a house with at that time I built a house, and I was going to go back with my partner at that time, and but then she changed her mind, and we had children, and then what happened? I had to wait until the children got older before I could even start thinking about going back because she changed her mind. So unfortunately, that changed things. I never lost that vision for going back. I used to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then I met someone in Ghana, and we ended up buying somewhere else, another piece of land, and building. So for the last 8 years, we've been building bit by bit, so going back and forth, back and forth. So I've had a lot of contact with Ghana specifically, also Nigeria, but mainly Ghana.
So so was it the northern part of Ghana
I,
or what part of Ghana?
I'm in the southern part. I'm in Terma,
Mm.
which is about 35-40 minutes from Accra. But
Okay.
I acquired some land in northern Ghana because I prefer the north much more than the south. But
Why? I'm curious. Why?
this I like the north is just completely different from the south. It's just very calm. It's more traditional than the south. The south is what we would say more developed, more westernized. So places like Accra, Kumasi, Cape Coast, Takoradi. These places are more, yeah, more what we would call westernized. But the
Mhm.
north is just more, I would say, more traditional. Yeah? I prefer
Mhm.
the north. But I've already established something in the south, so I'm going to start with the south first, and then as time goes by, I'll do something in the north.
Excellent, excellent. So you know since pretty much 1988 that you wanted to move to Ghana. What took you so long to kind of put the pan on the stove, so to speak?
Well, what's taken so long in uh, in around '99? I've been I built a house with my then partner. I had my partner of that time, and when after we built the house, she changed her mind, and we had children. And
Mm,
said she didn't want to go; she wanted to stay here. So I had to wait until those children become adults now before I
right.
start thinking about going back. So the plan, so I've got a house um, already built, but that's in a different area from the house I'm building now. And my partner now wouldn't consider that first house. She wouldn't like to live in that area. So unfortunately, with life, things always not you're not always in control of things that happen in your life. So sometimes you just have to bide your time.
Mm-hmm. Now, since you've been in this process for a while, what, and I mean, bring myself back onto the stream so we can see each other. Since you've been in this process for, for quite some time, and obviously you had to wait until your children were of age so you can do the things that you believe are necessary to get to Ghana. What was your planning process like? Did you start shipping things over? Obviously, you were building a house during this process. Take me down that like plant road, that because that's a road and a half to have this 20 years of really preparing yourself to what you're embarking on very, very soon. Tell me about that.
The planning process. The planning process I've had to put on hold, and that's changed as my older children have become um, able to stand up on their own 2 feet. Now, over the last 7 years, I've had a planning process, because before that I could plan, but how real was it? If if
Right.
if if their mum was saying she's not going, I can plan. So let's say my oldest is 6, and the youngest is 2. That's a long planning process. So I stopped thinking about it, and got to a certain age where I felt I could. It became realistic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a long process. It's been a
Mm-hmm.
very long process.
So now, since you're almost near the end of that process, um, talk to me about moving and shipping
So I
items.
did.
Oh, maybe there's a little backlog. Talk to me about shipping items, because I know shipping items to Ghana can be extremely expensive, at least here in the United States. I know you're in the UK, but oftentimes people talk about shipping items in barrels. So, how are you adjusting to shipping items if you started that yet?
I haven't started that yet, but there's door-to-door service in England, across Europe, which is quite reasonable. Yeah, so door to door is. I'm sure they've got that in the US as well, where people do door to door, where you do the boxes of things, or people do or sometimes people do containers, where you might
Mm-hmm.
share a container if you're shipping stuff down to you and one other people, or now in Ghana or lots of Africa, there's so many things you can get there. Lots of people don't bother with lots of things unless it's something they can't get wherever they are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe they might think the quality is not as good in, let's say, Ghana. It might be better. They think the quality may be better wherever they are. But lots of times, a lot of things people don't ship it no more. People still do door to door, but not as much as before.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. So you're kind of still in you're going to do door to door. In terms of the house that you're
Yeah,
building, hmm, in terms of the house that you're building, when is that projected to be completed? And if it's not completed about the time you get there, I'm guessing you're going to just how get accommodations elsewhere. But how's the
I'm
process of doing
hoping,
it?
I'm hoping, Shayla. Uh, I'm hoping, Shayla, that will be finished by the end of this year, the start of the following year. Yeah?
Excellent. I'm so
Or
proud of
if
you.
not, if not completely finished, may 85, 90% finished by the end of this year, the start of next year. I'm hoping.
Excellent, excellent. And then tell us briefly about the process. And of course, guys, if you're just tuning in, I'm having a little wine and I'm talking to Kwame, who's an incoming repatriate of Ghana. So anyway, tell me about how it's been working with contractors and builders in Ghana. Tell us particularly like things you wish you would have did differently versus things that really worked for you.
Okay. Overall, um, my experience or our experience has been quite good. What we've been doing is we would go down for 2 months, 3 months, right, and do whatever we can up to 2 or 3 months. Stop and then go back. And maybe
Mhm.
4 or 5 months or 6 months down the line, we go back and do the same thing. Yeah. Our experience has been pretty good. We've had one or two ups and downs. I think when you're building, there's always things you could have done better. We've had to change the house has ended up being much bigger than we wanted. So we've now decided to rent out part of it and live in part of it. Also, it's just a huge house, and it doesn't really make much sense. Yeah.
So what you're saying
So it's ended up
basically,
making.
what you're saying basically is
Sorry,
that
say that again, Shayla.
I was saying what you're saying basically is I have a place to stay when I go to Ghana, right?
Yeah.
Oh, great, because I'm absolutely going to take you up on that opportunity with this beautiful home you're building. Are there any tips that you would tell the viewers about building in Ghana that maybe you did right, that maybe they should know, maybe about building materials? I heard, for example, some of the materials are not treated for termites, and you have to know like to treat the wood for termites before you build. Do you know anything
You've
about
got
that?
to.
Any tips you can share?
Yeah. You. What I would my tip would be, right, if you're building, right, and you don't know much, look into it, speak to people. There's so many people that you can get advice from. Speak to people, ask questions. Yeah, get advice. Ask questions. Don't just allow somebody to build something, because when it goes wrong, it won't be them that be sorting it out. It'll be you that be sorting it out. Yeah. So my advice
Okay,
is to ask questions, get tips if you don't know a lot about building. That'd be my
excellent.
advice. But it's a really fulfilling feeling building. I've enjoyed every moment of it, the ups and the downs.
Excellent. I love that story. And before we conclude, I'm actually going to bring in your surprise in 1 second, your surprise guest. Um, but I just want to also, outside of the building tip, any tips from people who are incoming Ghana repatriates? Any tips for them, maybe about citizenship, maybe about making connections on the ground, any overall tips you have for those viewers out there?
I, I would say I would say there's just so much information. There's so many sources. There's people like yourself, Shayla. There's people like um, Ivy Prosper. There's so many different people out there that you can get advice from without making making flaws. Gone. This thing with citizenship, Ghana and I believe many of the different African countries over time that will change. Yeah? Um,
Yeah.
Citizenship will is going to become the norm for in many African countries. Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
And what some of us have to understand is I have as Africans we're not in control of certain things. So certain things can't just happen overnight. If it
Mhm.
could, it would. Yeah?
Right.
And certain things happening for us wouldn't happen in the way it happens if we were in control of things.
That's right. That's
That
right.
would be my advice.
Excellent, excellent. I love your story. It's so refreshing to hear that you've been at it for since 1988. So I'm sure when you finally touch down permanently in Ghana, maybe you'll cry. Who knows? Maybe you'll be overwhelmed with emotion. And I just wish you the best. And you heard me.
Thank you.
I just wish you the best
Thank you.
in relocation, and of course, we're always here to help you. And which moves into our final topic, which is we're helping you learn Tree, which is a Khan language. And
Yes, you
actually,
are.
I'm going to bring on our guest that you might know. So here we go. So we're
So,
doing
I mean,
Christopher,
I've been commenting to say, what to say?
you be aboko.
I say,
Mahoya. What's your fault?
and then I'm asking, oh, be out here, be out here, be out here. Now, also, what's your
before
fault?
before they get going here with their language, I just want to identify who came to the podcast. So Kwame has been taking tree classes with us since the beginning. Actually, before Rebecca was here, so the beginning. And before we talk about Rebecca and how she's helped you in your journey, tell us about Resplendence Language Arts in your own words and why you keep being a student with us. Just tell us as much as you can, Kwame, and then we'll move it over to Rebecca. Why do you stick to Resplendence, Kwame? Oh, did Kwame freeze? Oh no, he's not frozen.
So
I was saying, yes, I was saying.
I couldn't hear what you were saying.
Oh, okay, I think it's like a delay or something. But I was saying, like, in your opinion, tell us how Resplendence have helped you learn Tree, and tell us what you think about us.
Resplendence has helped me learn, has helped my tree tremendously. You've been very supportive, very understanding. But Professor Rebecca, even at 1 o'clock in the morning, she'll be sending me messages about something that I need to improve on, or videos with Tree. So I mean, and you Shayla, have been really, private tuition. You've made it happen. So the languages have been brilliant. And before Professor Rebecca, there was Professor Opong. Yeah, he was brilliant. Yeah, but yeah, I look forward to my Thursdays and Sundays with Professor Rebecca. Yeah,
Excellent. I'm so happy to hear
she's
that.
always pushing and pushing and making sure everything's to detail. Yeah? And it's not just about learning the language. She talks about the cultural aspect, how
That's
things
the
work,
part.
how things don't work. Yeah. And
Yeah,
to live
that's the
in
part.
anywhere, if you don't understand the language or a language, you struggle. Yeah. You will struggle. Fine, you can live in Ghana with just speaking English, but you won't understand the culture.
Mhm. And one of the biggest things, and actually, Rebecca, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Tell everyone how you teach the culture to your students.
Thank you for the opportunity, Shayla.
Of
Is that
The
course.
from your
culture is the culture is really important because you have to know the culture to actually understand the language. So basically, basically, I want you to understand the language with the culture as well. So I also let you know, I make you feel at home whilst I'm telling you about what we do here, and make you know that there are actually differences between what is done outside in the European countries, in the American countries, and what is done here in Ghana. And then some of the shocks you will get, especially if you are traveling for the first time to this country, you have certain culture shocks. And then if you have the idea of all these things, then they no longer become shocks to you. So I always make sure that they understand what the difference between the cultures. Then they also get to know why these are so, because we have certain histories and certain things that influence our perspective and then the way we see things as a people.
Excellent. And how do you think Kwame has improved as a student under your tutelage?
Kobe has really improved, and I'm always happy when we have tutorials because I can see he's actually making it, and I'm very proud of him. I'm really proud of him because at the beginning, I didn't know what to do. So I actually had to, think through how to structure my class so that I can,
Mm,
yeah. So I'm very happy about the progress so far. Kwame is really doing well, and he's very forcing. He's pushing. I can see the effort in wanting to learn the language, and that is what I want for everybody. The desire. If you have the desire to do something, it's much easier, so it makes it very easy if you have the desire to do it.
excellent. And will Kwame see you when he relocates to Ghana?
Yes, of course. I'll be glad to meet him at the airport. Yes, I will. I will.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And for the viewers out there, Rebecca actually has several classes coming up. She's a busy body. She also does private tutoring as well. And Kwame, did you want to talk with the viewers about how your private, in your own words, how your private tutoring is going outside of the classes is going with Professor Rebecca?
So I didn't hear that.
Sure. How's your private
How is it
tutoring?
going with Professor?
Yes, with Professor Rebecca. Private tutoring, not group.
I was brilliant.
Brilliant. I love that
I was
word,
brilliant.
by the way.
I look forward to Thursdays and Fridays with great joy. It's brilliant.
Love it.
Professor Rebecca, like I said, is very welcoming and and just very professional and very good. And makes learning
Thank
very
you.
feel easy. Yeah.
Excellent. We love
So
to we
and
love to
yeah,
hear that. We
yeah,
love to
Thank
hear
you
that.
so much.
she's good.
So, Rebecca, what
Yeah, she's
can
brilliant.
prospective students, what can you say about your class to help prospective students know what they can anticipate in being a student under you?
Okay, so for all my prospective students, I would say just come with a zero knowledge of the language and leave with 100% knowledge of it. So basically, just come with the desire to learn the language. It's always a blessing to have another language in addition to whatever language you speak, because language actually breaks barriers, as Kwame said earlier. It actually breaks barriers and connects people. Language has a lot of power to do that. So come on board, come and let's learn Twi. Thank you very much.
Excellent. And Rebecca's classes resume this January. And at the bottom of your screen, in a little ticker, if you can see it, it shows the link, which is bit.ly/introduction to tree. Kwame, it was so great talking to you, brother. In Swahili, we say kaka for brother. Sana, for thank you very much. Is there
Thank
anything
you.
you want to leave our viewers with in terms of coming to Ghana or anything about Resplendence? Just your final thoughts.
Um, it's not going to be for everyone, but it's for me. Yeah.
And for me,
Other people come to Africa and make it work, so why can't we? Yeah. And as for Resplendence languages, excellent service, professional service at every level. Yeah, whether it be
Yeah.
Tree, whether it be Swahili, whichever class.
Thank you. Yeah, you
Those
know
are my
what's so
last two.
crazy? Like before, when we first started the language house, we were like, "Well, what should we name the language? Or what should we name the house? We make it like simple." And I thought, because African languages in general are very unique, out we chose the excuse me, we chose to name it Resplendence because we wanted it to stand out. We didn't want it to be easy on your tongue, like African language. That's easy to say, right? Because African languages are, you have to move your tongue a lot, right? And be conscious and be conscious of what you're saying out of your mouth. We wanted to name our organization something that you have to be conscious with your saying out of your mouth. So it's not easy to say resplendence, right? Some people they fib it, right? But that is really our goal. Is that you're going to fib a language when you first start to understand it, but once you get into it, hopefully it'll be much easier. Resplendence. It'll be much easier to speak Tree. It'd be much easier to speak Fungbi or Swahili or Luguru or Kikuyu, right? Our hope is that it'd be much easier to speak all of it to include the name Resplendence.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you so much, Madase, to Kwame, Rebecca as well. Enjoy your New Year's
Thank
Day.
you. Thank you.
2020 We're in 2020 now, y'all. So 2021, let's hope that we not just hope, let's be more actionable. Let's be more actionable and pray alongside the actions so that we do everything the right way in which our ancestors want us to do it in. With that, I yield. Thank you so much. Thank you for the viewers. Thank you for our guest today. And we'll see you next time in Resplendence Language. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.